Horrible timing for a yawn. Holy crap. What is going on YouTube? Jay's 2 cents here. Back on the vlog channel, blogging and bringing you all sorts of deep conversation. Today we've got a request. It was specifically requested that I talk about this, and I try to oblige to as many of your requests as I can. But I thought that this was a good one, so I don't know a whole lot about this subject personally. I mean, I do have a little bit of it. Not much, though. I mean, not really. I mean, I think we all deal with anxiety in some form. But the message asked if I could talk about anxiety. It sounded like specifically maybe the topic of panic attacks. This person mentioned that they haven't been leaving home. They've pretty much are a shut in, don't have friends, and everything basically terrifies them. In fact, even writing me the message, they commented that they were having an anxiety fit just for the sake that they were reaching out to me to talk about that topic. So I've had some, I'd say, minor, like panic attacks, but I mean, not too bad, or anxiety attacks. My anxiety specifically that I deal with, and right off the bat, let's just go ahead and discuss what anxiety is. I know there's a clinical definition of anxiety, but I think anxiety for everybody is a little bit different. For me, I deal a lot with separation anxiety. I don't like being separated from those that I care about. Um, when I used to have to, when I do travel for work, I get very, I wouldn't say needy. My wife might say needy, but I definitely talk a lot more. Text messages, phone calls, emails, stuff to my wife. And because I get incredible worry and just panic over the distance. I kind of look at it as like there's this bond and this connection there, and when I'm outside of that comfort range, I get all kinds of anxiety. I get sweats, raised heart rate, worry. Just it's hard to explain. But I think regardless of what type of anxiety you deal with, there's a lot of different techniques that you can try. Boogie2988 is a friend of mine, and he deals with a lot of anxiety, and he's helped me deal with some of the anxieties that I do have, which I really don't think. Thank God that I suffer from a whole lot when it comes to anxiety. Depression's a whole different story. Um, he taught me breathing techniques, how important it is to just every time you breathe in something positive, whatever positive is for you, and every time you breathe out, you are breathing out just a piece of that anxiety. And the idea is to, for me anyways, was to use this metaphor where every time I bring something in, and every time I breathe in, I bring in something good. Every time I breathe out something negative. So I'm metaphorically replacing whatever it is inside me that's causing the anxiety. I am by far not qualified to give any sort of advice on what somebody should do to seek help or to better any of the anxiety issues that they're dealing with. Anxiety is one of those things where a lot of doctors will handle it very differently. Any sort of psychiatric or psychological help will vary from doctor to doctor because the problem with psychological medical in terms of the medical field is unlike when you break a bone or you break a leg, you have a cut, you have a heart problem, whatever. That's tangible. Somebody can definitively look at that and say, this is diagnosed. This is real. There it is. I'm pointing right to the problem. But when the problem is in your head, whether it be anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, whatever it may be in your head, hearing things, hearing voices, panic attacks, night terrors, whatever, it's not like somebody can say, oh yeah, there's the wire that's disconnected right there. Let's just go ahead and plug it right back in. Hey, you're good. You're good to go. It's not like Jiffy Lube. You can't just drive through and get a tune-up and off you go. Mental problems are very real to the person that they're happening to, but they are very, very difficult to diagnose and treat, to somebody who, like a doctor. And everybody's going to have, just like I talked about in my depression video, every doctor is going to have a different way of handling that. Some people want to go medication, some people might suggest therapy, whatever it is. But the bottom line is, if you're dealing with anxiety or depression or whatever, and this is me eating my own words, or look at the bloodshot in that eye. My God. I suffer from eye strain, and that eye right there is like totally bleeding out. Anyway, off topic there. This is me definitely having to take a dose of my own medicine. And by the way, what I'm about to say, I've made an appointment myself to go and talk to somebody about the issues that I was having back in the depression video. So I'm making that step, as much as I hate the doctors. And I know that they're just going to want to shove pills down my throat. And I've already told my wife that is not going to be my first course of action. But you need to see somebody. It doesn't matter if it's some sort of a peer counseling at your school, or a church pastor, or just a psychiatric or a psychologist or a trained professional, or a psychology student, whatever. You need to see somebody about it, because you can't be left to deal with these problems on your own. They're not going to get better on your own. You may think that they get better, but something's going to happen later on in life that's going to trigger it, and you're going to realize, holy crap, I'm not better. In fact, everything's worse, because your reaction later on, when you realize that you still have these problems that you may think you outgrown, because I don't know how old you are, the person who asked this question, but you realize later in life you haven't. And then you'll be even more depressed, because you'll be like, oh my God, I thought I outgrew this. I thought I was past all of this. What the hell is going on? And then you're going to freak out even more, and then you're just going to panic, and you're going to go into this tailspin. So my honest advice to you is, as difficult as it may be for you to just leave the house, try small. Go outside. Just try walking down the street and back. And then say, okay, I'm done for today. I went outside, I walked down the street, I got to see the sunlight, I got to smell the fresh air, and then go back inside and do whatever it is you do. But make it a point to every day that week to walk that 50 yards or that 100 yards or however far you walked outside, and then make a bet and a promise to yourself that the next week you're going to go twice as far. So instead of walking 4 or 5 houses down, you're going to walk 10 houses down, or you're going to make it to the end of the street, or you're going to make it around the block, whatever it is. And try and find a way to reward yourself, because let's face it, humans are no different than the way you train a dog. We all want to feel reward and pride in what we do. And so whatever it is, find a way to reward yourself, something small. I can't even suggest what that reward would be to you. You have to answer that. But that's one of the things that's definitely motivated my weight loss anyway. And I'm kind of freaked out by like how skinny my forearms look. Like when I was grabbing my head right there, I was like, oh my God, see the bones and stuff in my arm. It's kind of gross. But, like I said, my wife and I, we made some personal goals, and provided ourselves with incentives if we reach those goals. And we have weekly goal as well as the overall goal. And it really took the goal to give me the drive to achieve the reward. And what's funny is, just losing weight and being healthier wasn't a reward enough, but it took an extra ambition and drive to do that. So try and do that with yourself. Find something you can reward yourself with, and push yourself. And as uncomfortable and out of your element as you're going to feel, that's the only way to get used to it and get any better at it. So my advice to you, talk to somebody. And not just me, not just someone on the internet, but somebody in front of you who can see your reactions, who can talk to you. And that's going to scare the crap out of you, trust me. But you have to go into it with an open mind and an open heart. 2, find some way to reward yourself for making the effort. And 3, set realistic goals. That's why I said start small. Walk 2 houses down the street and walk back, and then stop for the day. Don't push yourself. Too many people fail at their goals and their milestones because they set unrealistic goals and expectations. So I hope that this video helped in some way. It was probably all over the place and kind of out there. I'm not qualified to answer this sort of stuff, but that's what I would do. At least I would like to think that I would do if I were dealing with the problems that you are. maybe someday in the future I'll be dealing with an anxiety attack of some sort, and I can come back and watch this video. I hope that you do when you feel like you're having some sort of a problem or anxiety. Watch the video multiple times. Watch my other videos if you think that they help. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.